Good morning, y'all. Hey, everybody. What's up? What's going on? IK5560. What's up? What's up? What's up? What it is? Hello, everybody. Good morning. Top of the morning to ye. Hello. Ni hao. Hola. What's up? Good morning, everybody. Welcome in, welcome back, welcome through, welcome to the Apostate Ape channel, where you can watch the greatest of the great ape debates. You can watch me master debate the Christians all day up in here. Actually, not all day, but you know, pretty much every morning. It's my 96th day in a row of streaming out here and stuff. It's been quite a awesome experience. Hello, no comment. What's up? What's up? Howdy. How do you? Hello. Welcome back for the 96th time in a row. Yeah. Yay. Crazy, ain't it? Yeah. Anyway, we are back to do it again. This is the channel where you can watch an undereducated hick from Alabama perform an intellectual takedown of the Christian faith, doctrine, and logic for your entertainment. But also to make the world better, because once this religion's gone, it's got to be better, right? I mean, look at the nonsense that it caused through histories and stuff. It's rough, man. Look what it's doing, even in the modern day. It's awful. Anyway, welcome in. Hopefully today will be another good day of conversations. Yesterday turned out pretty good, but still pretty rough. But the last week or so has been really good overall. Had some pretty amazing conversations and stuff. Error, my dog, what's happening? I appreciate the shit out of that. Greg, what's up? Hello, good morning, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back. Y'all know that Dr. Joshua Bowen is the best friend of the channel. And you can support the best friend of the channel, Dr. Joshua Bowen, by purchasing some of his books. And you can help support him and his wonderful family. And also learn the amazing knowledge that Dr. Joshua Bowen has bestowed on us all with his writings and such knowledge. Also, don't forget, the Rocket City Reason Conference is going down in Huntsville, Alabama, this October, the 23rd, the 24th, and the 25th. You can get your tickets for that at rocketcityreason.com, and you can hang out with the biggest, the coolest names and atheist debaters there is. But until then, just hang out with the Apostate Ape in the mornings, and you can watch me master debate the Christians' brains out, as long as there's somebody to master debate. Sometimes, like, spent most of the history of this little show I got now never having too much of a problem to find debaters and stuff, but some days it's a little rough. We have to wait a couple minutes, but it's usually not too bad. Good morning, Queen LaQuifa. What's up? What's up? Hello, everybody. All right, well, we got somebody requesting up already, so let's see if it was an actual request. Hey, I see you there.
What's good, guy? How you doing?
Hey, what's up, man? Doing good. How about you?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good, man. I watch a couple of your lives. I have to admit, you're pretty knowledgeable on this information.
Oh, thanks. I'll do what I can.
So,
So are you over 18 and a Christian, or?
yeah, yes to both those questions. Over 18,
Oh, cool.
yes, I am a Christian.
Sorry, I got some gifts there. It made a bunch of noise. But which one of these topics you want to discuss with me today?
Uh, I really just wanted to talk to you about you being a former Christian. I have a question. Maybe you can help me out. It's about the bloodline of Jesus, right? I've been wrestling with this, man.
Sure.
I've been struggling with this. I've been reading about the genealogy of Jesus, and there was an individual that comes from his bloodline named Jehoiachin, and this individual was cursed by Jeremiah. And Jeremiah tells Jehoiachin that if he's cursed, then nobody that's in his bloodline will be able to sit on the throne of David. I've been wrestling with this
Right.
concept, and I wanted to know
Well,
if you
I
know
mean,
about it and if
yeah,
you
I mean
could
it's wrong.
articulate that to me.
It's Yeah, it's Jeconiah. That's from Matthew. Luke actually corrects this, but for some reason, most Christians think that Luke's correction of this is Mary's bloodline, but it's not. So it's given two bloodlines through Jesus to David, and not Mary. So Luke actually gives a more legit bloodline. But the problem, you got a problem either way, whether the line of Jeconiah was cursed or not. Even in Luke, where he does correct it, it still says that David didn't even consummate the marriage until after Jesus was born. So either way, you're not getting to David through Jesus. You know what I mean, or through Joseph anyway. But either way, you have a really, really big theological problem there. I think that Jesus did not come from the line of David, and I mean, if you go by the Old Testament, then this Messiah that's coming has to come from the line of David genetically, which Jesus obviously does not.
Okay, I haven't gotten that far in Luke just yet. So when I get there, I'll definitely investigate that for sure. I do believe in Jesus. I do believe that He's God, but I do have questions. I've been wrestling. I've been tossing and turning, man, about this situation here, right? Um,
Good, good.
so
Well, the fact that you're even wrestling with it just goes to show that you that you have a brain you're using on your own. You're like, this don't make sense to me.
I grew up in this. I know nobody in your panel cares about this, but I grew up in this, man. I was 7 years old in the church and stuff like that, and 35 now. So it's hard for me to sit there and be like, oh man, there's issues with my Bible. I don't know how to accept this, but imagine pouring water on a robot and he starts short circuiting. That's how I'm currently. That's what I'm going through right now.
It happened to all us atheists, man, that deconverted literally every one of us. And most people, it takes a really long time. It's not like an overnight process. You know what I mean?
Okay. And I'm glad that you took this because I will ask Christians this question, right? Well, let me be politically correct. I will ask believers this question, and I'll get muted or kicked out the group or whatever. So, and I'm trying to find some answers. Before I let you go, man, since you're taking the time to not entertain, but help me out with these issues. Do you know about the contradiction with King Solomon and his stalls? And if you do, could you be able to explain that?
His stalls?
Yeah, so in Second Kings, it says that he has 4,000 stalls. This is about his chariots, right? And then I believe in I always get Chronicles and Corinthians confused, but I believe it's Second Chronicles where it says that he has 40,000 stalls. And so I'm discombobulated on that. Most people will say that it was a typo error, and I'm wrestling. I'm struggling with this because if this Bible is the word of God, how could we have an error, a typo error?
Well, I mean, there's lots of them, and to be honest, the number ones aren't that big of a deal to me. Like, it's the straight up theological contradictions that really bother me. Like, for example, you're right, there's just a numerical contradiction there, but like in 2 Samuel 24, where David takes the census of the people, one of the punishments that God offers him through the prophet Gad is 7 years of famine. But if you read the same story in Chronicles, it's 3 years of famine. So obviously 7 and 3 isn't the same number. But to me, those aren't huge deals. Like, to me, the far bigger problem there is what's actually going on and what God is actually doing is a far bigger issue for me. And God is unaliving 70,000 people because David counted the people that he told him to count. Like, that's the awful part that needs explaining from that to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think I read about
There's
that
a
story. Yeah, God. Some people say that Satan had tempted David to count, and some accounts will say that God was the one that tested David. I don't want to use the word tempted because I'm still a believer, but I'll say the word tested uh,
right.
David to go ahead and count. But I'm still wrestling with this stuff, man. Hey, I appreciate it for your time, bro. I'm gonna send you a follow. I hate to say this, but keep doing your work.
Oh, well, I will. It's my 96 days in a row now.
All right, for sure. Have a
But
good day,
if you
man.
do deconvert, come back and tell us about it, man. We'd like to hear.
Say it again.
I said, if you do deconvert, come back and tell us about it. We'd like to hear.
I'm still rocking with
We like
Jesus.
success stories.
I'm still success story. You're funny. I'm still rocking with Jesus, man. But I'm just confused, man. I'm really confused. I don't like being
Well, you
confused.
should be confused because this religion don't make any sense in this book.
I am confused. I
So
will be
being
honest.
confused just goes to show you're actually studying it and scrutinizing it, you know, and you should
Yeah,
be.
yeah. Honestly, I told my wife, man. I said, every day I read it. I said, I was like, the more and more I read this Bible, something just doesn't seem right. Instead of just telling us, accepting what the pastor gave us, let's read. And ever since I've been reading, I'm like, something just
There you go.
something's weird. All right. Anyhow,
Dude, I'm
anyhow.
telling you, the Bible is the atheist maker. There's more atheists who's actually read the Bible than there are Christians who read it. Well, there's way more Christians, but I'm saying, as far as people who read the Bible goes, they'll be atheists.
It's strange. It's I feel strange for even saying it, but it is confusing. It is very confusing. Yeah, it
Of
is
course it is.
confusing.
It don't make any sense. It's contradictory. It can't be anything but confusing because it's not saying the same things in the book. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's confusing. Now, if there's anybody that's watching that is a Christian, don't think that I'm like trying to cast a stumbling block upon you. I do accept Jesus. I believe. I just am confused, and I think that you guys all should read the Bible for yourself to try to figure out what are some of these issues, and maybe you guys can come and let me know.
There you go.
All right, man. I'm gonna let you go. I appreciate it, guy.
Shit, I appreciate it, man. Thanks for coming up, buddy. Have a good one and good luck in your journey there. Um, well, you know, maybe he'll figure out that there's not an answer to any of those contradictions, and you know, what's the logical thing left to do? You either just accept that it don't make any sense and believe it anyway, or you decide, well, I can't be believing things that don't make any damn sense, or it can't even give you a clear direction where to go. You know what I mean? Like, what's the point in turning to a book for direction in life and spirit that can't even give you a valid direction? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. Anyway, all right. We are barely over 10 minutes. So, I don't have super long this morning, but y'all know me. I'm gonna hang around for plenty long enough to have some good conversations, assuming we get some. Hopefully, we do get some. Got some new sort of phrases. I reworded the topics that I almost always use today. Again, yeah, you might have noticed. A little bit different background today. It's pretty cool. Good afternoon. Genetically, I am 82% British. Literally, nothing else. Barely any French, barely any German, barely any European. I'm almost all fucking Britain, which was kind of shocking thing to say because you never consider yourself genetically to be have those types of numbers. But here we are. I did it. I spit in a thing and they tested it. Not all of them. All of them who read it critically probably do though. Yeah, the Bible is the atheist maker. Just like the dude said, if you start reading it yourself, you're like, damn, there's a lot of problems in here. So, Godwin, what's up, my dog? What up, what up? What's going on, everybody? Well, if you are a Christian passing through, come on up and be the first, not the first guest of the day, but the first, like, opposition of the day. The last person was a Christian, but that obviously wasn't a very oppositional type conversation there. But anyway, if you're a Christian and you think you can talk to us about one of these topics up here, that would be awesome. Yeah. Yeah, like I said, it'd be a far stretch to say every person, but almost every person, I'd say, yeah. If you actually read all the Bible and you're paying attention while you read it, it's not good. Not good at all. Not good at all. Lunatic. I love that word, man. I love that word. Anyway, well, hopefully we'll get some really good conversations in here today. The algorithm's actually juicing okay this morning. Way better than it was yesterday, that's for sure. So maybe it'll actually reflect that and give us some good old conversations today. That would be awesome. That would be awesome, wouldn't it? Anyway, welcome in, everybody. If you're just watching, please help me out this morning and tap that screen for me. Maybe throw a comment in there. Repost the live. Oh, we already got several reposts. That's cool. All this help get the algorithm going. Get some folks in here to talk to. A little bit different phrasing with my topics up here today. So we'll see how they go. Even though I'm just basically reword the same shit all the time. Studying the Bible is what made me lose my faith. There's too many contradictions. God does way too much evil stuff. And if I can't, kind of the way I got this topic up here, the number one, if I can't justify evil that God's doing, I'm not worshiping this God. I'm calling it evil, which it just seems to be, because I can't justify. If you can justify something, you have a justification for it. But if there's not one, I'm out. Maybe that's just me. But I'm not going to sit here and read a book about God bashing babies to pieces and try to argue that's anything less than evil. Because it is. Even if the babies do go to heaven, it's still evil. Because I don't know that. But anyway, let's see here. Yeah, it's moving along. It's moving along. Only been on for about 15 minutes, so that's cool. Well, I haven't had a single person come to me and be like, hey, you did it, I deconverted. So I have no idea if I've actually deconverted anybody or not. But I have had a whole bunch of people say they've been watching the show and they're developing questions. So, like, I feel like I'm on the right track either way there. If that's happening, that's going in the right direction, I feel like. Yeah, I mean, I think that's most Christians, honestly. Like, I think most Christians are Christians because Paul got them out of keeping the law, even though Jesus never says any such thing. Jesus says you have to keep the law to get to God. But I think that's why Christians jump on board with this, because you get the salvation without doing actual, all the stuff Jesus tells you to do to get to God. But, I mean, you can cherry pick the shit out of the book and come out with a really good book. Like, the whole love your neighbor as yourself thing. I mean, that sounds pretty reasonable to pretty much anybody, I would think. The problem is, you just flip a page or two, it says you can own people as property. Like, I mean, that's what I'm saying. This book tells you to love your neighbor, but there's also a part where God, like, makes them eat their neighbors. So, I mean, not the best standard here, I don't think. Like, the few good things in the book tend to get overshadowed, with the babies being bashed to pieces and the women raped and stuff. So maybe not the best straightforward path for morality there. That's just me. Yep. No. But yeah, I think most Christians have an idea about this religion. Kind of they project onto it in God, but when you actually read the Bible, I think that image gets shattered quite quickly and quite easily, unfortunately. That's what we was talking about yesterday. Like, it seems that if it's a coincidence, it's an awfully big one that the vast majority of populations become literate and start reading the Bible, and all of a sudden Christian numbers are dropping like a rock across the board. because people are reading the Bible. I think. I mean, it seems to be a like a nice correlation there. You know, stuff like that. Lady of Heaven, what's up? Good morning, everybody. Hello, welcome in. All right, well, we've been on almost 20 minutes now. The algorithm is moving a little better than yesterday, so. Literally the only book in the entire Bible that is written in Aramaic is a couple of chapters of Daniel, or maybe just one chapter. That might be two, but I think there's just one. So there's none of the Bible's actually written in the language that Jesus actually spoke. The Old Testament's Hebrew, which I've been learning from Dr. Joshua Bowen, our best friend, and the New Testament is in Koine Greek, or originally written in Koine Greek, also a language Jesus did not speak or write in. I mean, the problems build up pretty quick when you start looking for them. Okay. Oh, no, that's not true. Islam's just as bad. You're predicated on an already false doctrine here. Although I will say, personal experience-wise, I know way more Christians making way more problems than Islams are. That's for damn sure. But then again, I live right in the middle of a bunch of Christians, so it's kind of hard to tell from my perspective, because my perspective is centered around this and that. But too much porn in the Bible. Did Muhammad marry a 9-year-old or some shit? They all got pervert warlords. Why serve any of them? It's pretty sad. Dang. Anyway, if you are a Christian who wants to come talk us about one of these topics, we would love to talk to you. We'd love to talk to you. So maybe here's one, I guess. Nice weather. Canada does have nice weather, unless it's cold. Hey, nice weather, you there?
Hi, have you ever suffered tragedy in your life?
Yeah. Are you over 18?
Yes.
And you're one of the Christians? Or a Hebrew Israelite?
You can call me a Christian. I don't really care for the name, but have your parents been divorced?
Yeah.
Have you ever been divorced?
Not me, no. I've been married almost 13 years.
I think tragedy is what drives people towards God.
Yeah, from what I can tell, the vast majority of people that convert to Christianity are people who are desperate and at rock bottom. And I think we all can admit that people make bad decisions when they're desperate. So kind of reflects, I think.
And I don't think Christians have it figured out. They may go around in circles, but that's just to cover the tracks.
True.
I think the Bible says a whole lot of things that people don't believe, but they don't want to say anything. Like Christians,
says
that
a whole
is.
bunch of stuff like that. Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
is there
but
something up here
a
you
Christian will tell
disagree
you
with
it's
me
all
on?
the
Or?
Word of God.
Sure.
Debating. Well, I think there is a God, but I can't prove it. That's so I'm in a pickle, right? I can't prove what I think is out there. I don't know what it is I think, but I think there's an overpowering observer, whatever that is. Good or bad. It could be evil, it could be good.
So you're just like a
I think
general
religions
deist, I guess?
are. Well, I sort of think that it's sort of you're faking it when you join a religion. You're pretending that this is the way and this is the path. And I think that's what is happening, is that these religions grew up out of human experiences of propaganda, fear, anger. I think religions
Right.
all
Well,
grow out of those things.
yeah, well, I mean, we don't necessarily disagree. We're just looking to debate Christians, though, man.
Yeah, I know. These
But
people, though, want to try.
yeah, I appreciate you coming up, though. Anwar, are you there?
How's it? How you? Good, man. How you
What's
doing?
up, buddy? I'm doing all right. Are
Good.
you over 18?
Basically, I just need to know because you see what's happening with me is I'm a seeker of really of truth. I love knowledge. So my problem is that every Christian I speak to has a different story, and it's like, hey, you're getting more and more confused. I guess that's why so much people are like studying the Quran and just coming because like Islam is one way finished. It's like how can I explain? It's like worship the Creator and follow the prophets. Finished.
Well,
It's like
yeah,
Islam
sure.
is a way of
Are
life.
you a Christian?
No. I now I'm a Muslim by choice because of studying. Because you see, basically
Oh,
everybody is living according to what knowledge they have.
well, sure, but I don't really talk to Muslims very much. From my experience, y'all can't read very
Oh,
well.
okay. Okay. So you don't know about Islam. You don't know. So you're this thing.
No, I just know from my
Christianity well.
experience, y'all seem to have trouble reading, so I don't talk to you very much.
Have trouble reading.
Yeah, you say this right here. Can you read that?
Christians and Hebrew Israelites only. Oh, okay. Oh. So you're not into. So you won't be able to help me with Christianity. I mean, to get this thing because it's nice to know because you see, we only have this one life to get it right, and God said worship.
That's true. Thanks for coming up. Somebody didn't get the point there, did they? Dang. Yeah, I hear you, man. Like, I don't. We'll deconvert all the Christians, and then I'll start a Muslim show when y'all are all that's left. Yeah, and whoever coined that phrase, Muhammad, police be upon him. Oh, you're good. That was amazing. You win the internet, you win the show, you win all the things. Whoever invented that, prove you invented it, and I'll send you $10 right now. Because that's good. That's good. And I'm sure Islam's great. I'm sure it's great. It's probably why a bunch of people explode themselves in the name of Islam. It's really speaks a lot to the beauty of the religion, unfortunately. Anyway, if you are a Christian or a Hebrew Israelite, please come on up and talk to us about one of these topics here. That would be awesome. If not, I guess I'll have to simplify it again. Yeah, okay. All right, let's see where we're at here. It's 20, barely hitting half an hour now. Yeah, let's slow down a little bit. Still better than it was yesterday, though. Scientologist? Is that oh yeah, that's that's that L. Ron Hubbard thingy. I actually don't know what they are. Like, is that a no? I figured, but I actually don't even know what that is. Like, Scientology is like worship. What do you worship? Science? Jesus science? I don't know. Never inquired personally. I heard Tom Cruise was one though. So like, I'm good. I don't need to share Tom Cruise religion. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. I mean, the hypocrisy of Christianity is far and wide. I mean, Jesus says it's easier for a camel to pass through an eye of a needle than for a rich man to get into heaven. And how many rich Christians are there? I don't know. Trump, Kid Rock. Imagine that rich motherfucker rapping about underage girls and pimping hoes, preaching about Jesus. I think that's so great. Listen to Kid Rock give you a fucking sermon. Wow. The world's gone crazy, yo. When Kid Rock's a fucking preacher, I'm the fucking Pope. And that's the sad, sad state of reality. That's where we're at. Kid fucking Rock's a preacher now. There's this thing in the town I live in. They have this concert called Rock the South. It's in a little bitty town in Alabama. Nobody ever even heard of it. Anyway, they took a picture last year of this little teenage girl in little hoochie mama clothes wearing a Jesus belly button ring, throwing up the devil horn sign in the picture. She's sitting here doing like this. She got a Jesus belly button ring in, throwing up the devil horns over here with a big old cross behind her at a concert. It's holy shit. The foolery Christians insert themselves into and then call it Christian is wild as shit. Yeah, me too. Yeah. They actually changed it this year. I guess the pastor wasn't holding up very well. They used to have it at a Coleman Park, but they got tired of fucking fixing the park at taxpayers' expense all the time. So they moved it to a fucking cow pasture, literally, and I guess somebody got tired of the cow pasture. Thank you. So now they've moved it to the other side of me over here in Decatur. But yeah, they always put a big ass fucking cross up there and pretend like it's a Jesus festival when it's really just a rock and country festival. People there getting fucked up, drinking and cussing with this fucking cross behind them. It's no damn wonder. I say this all the time, but it is no fucking wonder that Thomas Jefferson called Christians hypocrites. Like, no fucking shit. What an astute observation that is, huh? They're hypocrites. No shit. Even Jesus called them that. Wow. Anyway, Jesus loves me, huh? I've never heard that before. Guess I'll deconvert again. Hey, I reconverted yesterday. If anybody missed that, I did reconvert yesterday. I heard an argument so compelling I had no choice. So it's the only intellectually honest thing I could do. I mean, a guy come up here, like, he was like, bro, every word of that Bible is God breathed. And I was like, whoa, holy shit. I feel the Holy Ghost moving in me already. I did not know that. Anyway, I reconverted for a minute, and then I tried to convince the guy, based on my religion, that slavery was actually okay and stuff, but he wasn't hearing it. I was like, bro, as a Christian, I'm trying to tell you as a brother, slavery's okay. God lets us do that. And he was like, no, no, no. And I was like, yes, yes, yes. Then a guy came back and told me another Christian came up after that and told me a bunch of problems about the book, so I deconverted again. So now I'm just back to my heathen atheistic ways. So if you ain't caught that episode, it was the day before yesterday or something. I even ended up arguing with McAllister. I was trying to convince him that Christianity was the way, the truth, and the life, but he wasn't hearing it either. He wasn't convinced as much by that argument as I was. But, you know, that's just the reality of things, I suppose. Anyway, let's see. The algorithm is right on the line of, I can't tell if it's normal or not, but it should be, I guess. I don't believe in ghosts. I believe in Jesus, but ghosts ain't real, so I can't believe in Holy Ghost. Yeah, I mean, that's fair enough. Fair enough. Monologues. Conversates, debates, whatever. I'll just call it debates because we're contending ideas, so let's see who can win the idea. But yeah, I mean, you're well within your rights to say it's monologues and just conversation, I think. So, not unfair, not unfair. Not unfair at all. Anyway, if you are a Christian, please, we need somebody to conversate with in here that can show us the ways of the Lord. Maybe explain some of this context to us we never get. Brent, what Brent? Got an email saying I got a message on TikTok. What Brent was interesting. Anyway, yeah. So if you are a Christian, you are who we want to talk to. Or Black Hebrew Israelite. We'll take them too. We'll argue with one of them. They actually love me right up until the point they learn that I'm not one. It's a weird thing. Shouldn't need evidence. Oh yeah, it's a faith thing. Yeah, you just have to believe it. God. May the claws of the Lord embrace you. Utah Raptor Jesus. Oh no, it's so damn funny every time. It fucking is. Embrace the claws of the God of the universe. Oh man, it's a big old raptor claws he has. I know that's the way cults roll, Jacob. That's how I test people for if they're in a cult. I will say, is there anything at all that could get you out of this mind frame? And if you say no, you're in a cult. That's all there is to it, because you have then closed your mind to anything to the contrary, and that, unfortunately, is cult behavior. I don't even mind cults so much, though. Honestly, if it was like a cult that was doing some good, I'd sign me up. I'm cool with that. I'll take one of the pamphlets and look it over. You know what I'm saying? But Christianity cult, not a good one. Not a good one. Very troublesome. Very evil. They do evil stuff. They also do good stuff. But, Christianity on the whole, the book is really, really, really bad. Really, really, really bad. And I mean really bad. Really, really bad. And then the things that Christians say about it makes it even worse. I only serve triceratopses. They don't have claws. They have like regular feet. They're herbivores. I like the herbivore. I'll serve a herbivore, but not a carnivore. There ain't blasphemy. You're the blasphemer. You're the blasphemer. You won't accept the ways of the herbivoric terrible lizards. So you're the blasphemer, Dr. Josh. You're the blasphemer who won't accept. You just like meat eaters and carnivores, and you won't accept the plant eaters who are obviously have the moral high ground, because they just kill plants and not meat. I rebuke your carnivorism and your predatory dinosaurs. I know you like the predator dinosaurs, but I don't. I don't like them. I like free-ranging herbivoric plant eaters who are peaceful. That's what I believe in and serve. It's just me. Hey, nobody, you there?
Yes, I am.
Hey, what's up, man? Are you over 18?
Yeah, 34.
Cool. Are you one of the Christians?
Yep.
Or
I just had a
Hebrew?
question.
Okay.
Yeah, I just had a question real quick. Yeah, I have a question. So why is it that hopefully you could answer, because obviously your friends cannot answer this question. Why is it that seem that quote unquote atheists, which I don't believe you're an atheist at all, why do atheists seem or deem themselves always right and Christians wrong
You mean about Christianity?
about anything? I mean, we could talk about a
I don't
piece of
know.
bubblegum. We
I
could
don't
talk
think
about the
atheists are
flavor
right
of a
about
piece of
everything,
bubblegum.
but
Well, no, I mean,
I don't know.
it's kind of egotistical to have this conversation about something you don't believe in.
Not really.
It really is.
No, it really ain't.
How is it not?
Because like 2 billion something of y'all do believe it, and I live in a country right now where it's the Christians who are trying to bring back conquering other people and such atrocities that I thought we had moved past. So now I'm here debating what I don't believe because a whole bunch of people do believe it, because I think it's better off for humanity.
So what makes atheism better for humanity?
Well, it's the most viable position to hold, I think, since there's no evidence for any gods.
Actually, you do understand that the world leadership that has actually committed the most atrocities were atheists. You understand that, right?
Mm-mm.
Like, for example, Pol Pot. He was an atheist. He unalived over 25 million people. As a
Yeah.
matter of fact, Stalin was also an atheist, and he committed genocide over 50,000 people. So
Well, he was
so
well, I mean, he was like a narcissistic psychopath, sociopath too, but it was because he was raised by insane Christians that made him that way.
well, no,
And he didn't do
I
any
don't
of
think it was
that in
that.
the
I
name
think it
of
was
atheism.
Marxism.
He was a ruthless communist dictator.
I
Atheism
think
didn't
I
have
think
anything to do
no,
with
it's
it.
because he was a Marxist. he was involved in Marxism, but that's irrelevant. So the point is
Marxism.
Marxism is by definition atheist. Karl Marx was an atheist. So try again.
Okay. So does that prove Christianity is true?
Well, no, it's just you can't answer the question. Why does atheism think they're better than Christians? That's what I want to know.
I didn't say that. I think we have a more tenable position than Christians, but I never said it was. So you're asking me about what a bunch of other people think when I don't think that. So it's kind of weird.
Well, it's kind of weird that you would, propagate atheism over Christianity when you're by definition contributing to Christianity. You're benefiting from it.
How's that?
Because we live in a free society. Yeah, atheism in an
Yeah,
atheist
that didn't
society,
come from Christianity.
it
It
literally
came
did.
because we got away from Christianity.
No, actually, it doesn't because see, you just contradicted yourself. We got away from
No,
Christianity
you're
to live now in a.
contradicting yourself. You just
Well,
don't
actually,
know it.
no. How am I contradicting myself? You're making the claim that we
Because
got
this
away from
ain't a Christian
Christianity.
country. This is a country you're free to be a Christian in, not a Christian country with
Well,
Christian
clearly you don't
doctrines.
know
Like
anything about the
the doctrine of
doctrines.
this book says, if anybody wants to worship other gods, you have to kill them, and that's the real Christian position,
Oh, is it?
not the
Or is that
atheist one.
or is that
Yeah,
the Old Testament? Is it the Old Testament teaches that?
yeah, it's the Old Testament.
Yeah. How does that have to do with Christians?
Where does Jesus ever say, "Don't keep the laws in the Old Testament"?
I have not come to destroy the law, but to fulfill. You understand what that means, correct?
Yeah, that means the law never went
Where
away. It
did
means you
Jesus
have to keep the law,
where
or
did
you're not
Jesus
getting to heaven.
where did Jesus do anything to harm anyone?
Hey, have you ever read the Sermon on the Mount?
Yeah, he was clearly sitting on a rock teaching. He wasn't hurting or harming anyone. And as a matter of fact, he was teaching to his disciples that.
Yeah, he was giving people a bunch of decrees on how to live and be a good Christian, right?
Well, okay, so how is that harming individuals that followed him?
Well, here, I'll show you. Let's read some.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, do you think a woman deserves to be tried and executed for adultery because a man divorced her?
Well, that clearly, the story of the woman who the
That's not what I'm
Sadducees.
asking about.
Well, no, that's literally what. Okay, so for example, he without sin cast the first stone. The Sadducees wanted to
That's
stone her. What does Jesus do?
that's.
That's
It
literally.
says, "Let he who has no sin cast the first stone." That means he doesn't say don't do it. He just
Case
made
in
it a
point.
little situation where nobody wanted to.
Thank you for
But he actually
conceding.
broke the law by not doing that. I didn't concede. That's not
You
even
literally
what I'm
just
talking
conceded.
about.
That's you
That's
literally
not even what
conceded
I
this
asked you. Wow. Okay, so do you think it's okay to try and execute a woman if a man divorces her for adultery?
Jesus did. He addressed that.
Yeah, he does. He says
Correct.
if a man divorces a woman except on grounds of sexual immorality, she is guilty of adultery. And it says if you marry a divorced woman, you are guilty of adultery. So do you agree with that?
What chapter and verse?
Matthew 5, verse 31 and 32. I thought you
And
said
then
you read it.
Well, no. Well, did I say that? I didn't
Yeah.
say that.
I asked you if
No,
you
I
read
didn't.
the Sermon on the
No, you
Mount. You
did not.
said, yeah, I've read it.
Well, no. We're talking about the Sermon on the Mount. We're not
Wow.
talking about that
Okay. Yeah,
specific
this is all
topic.
recorded. You absolutely said that.
I
So
don't care if it's recorded or not. And you will find that I did say that I read
I'm sure you
the Sermon
don't.
on the
Yeah.
Mount. The Sermon on the Mount. But
Yeah.
that's not what I'm referring to. I'm making the claim is demonstrated by
I
the
know.
woman.
I'm asking you a fucking question that you seem desperate to now dodge. Could you answer my
No,
actual question?
I literally answered it by
No, you
example.
didn't. You brought up something
I
totally
literally did.
different.
No, I
I asked
didn't.
you if this was right, not if Jesus executed this or not. I asked you if it was right, if you agreed with it. You did
In
not
my
answer
opinion,
me.
my opinion doesn't matter. What happens is what
Oh,
matters is the demonstration on that. That's what matters.
oh, okay. So why did Jesus say this if he didn't mean it?
Well, because basically he's confronting the law. He's talking about the law,
Yeah.
obviously.
The law, he says, to keep, to get to God.
Yes, because it's fulfilling
Yeah.
what one of the commandments says: to love thy Lord thy God with all thy heart. Yeah, I thought
Yeah.
you knew this.
That's
I thought
Levitic
you.
law. Yeah, I do. It's Levitic law.
What's funny is Jesus was a part. Jesus is he's of the bloodline of the Levitical priest. Try again.
Oh, really? So he's not in the bloodline of David then?
No, actually, he is. He's
Try
actually
again.
both. He's
Oh,
both.
so he's both. He's the
Yeah,
Levite and from the line of Judah and
yeah,
Bethlehem.
yeah. Okay, so the evidence of that is
He
the
is if you
evidence
got
that
through Mary.
yeah, well, yeah. I mean, because she's closely related to
Yeah.
who? Closely related to who?
She's a Levite,
Elizabeth.
right?
Well, no, she's
Yeah.
closely related to Elizabeth. Her husband was a Levite,
Good
right?
job on that one. Yeah.
Yeah. So there, by definition,
Yeah,
hence you're only
so
proving my point. Thank you for your second concession.
you're welcome. Yeah, you're welcome, buddy. All right, so Jesus says to keep the law to get to heaven. He says if he says if a man divorces his wife, she's guilty of adultery. Do you agree with that or not?
It doesn't matter. Again, I've established that it doesn't matter what I agree with
Oh,
or
okay,
don't
so
agree
you're
with.
not actually going to answer any of the questions?
I've already answered. We've already see. The problem is what
No,
I'm
you
asking is
haven't. What the
you
fuck are
literally.
you getting that you answered my question when you clearly have not answered my question? You keep saying my
I
opinion
answered
don't
your
matter.
first. Yeah, well, yeah, that's answering it because my opinion doesn't matter. It's already established.
No, it's
You
not
have no
answering it.
worldview. Why
You're
can't you answer the
dodging
question?
because you know it's wrong and you
Why
know
can't
Jesus
you
taught
answer
that,
the
but you don't
question?
want to
Why
admit
can't
Jesus
you?
is wrong, even though you
Why
know he
can't
is,
you?
which makes you a
Why can't
dishonest
you?
liar.
Why can't you answer the initial question?
What didn't I answer?
Well, you have no worldview outside the Christian worldview, so why are you contradicting yourself?
Why do you keep saying that nonsense?
Because
I
you
don't
are
have a Christian
using.
worldview. If I had a Christian
Yeah, it's kind
worldview,
of
I
like
would
a
be
joke.
pro-slavery
It's kind of like
and
you.
pro-bashing
It's like
babies to pieces,
yeah,
stuff
it's kind
like
of
that,
like
but
you.
I'm
Yeah, it
not.
has nothing to do
So
with the
I'm not a
Christian
Christian.
worldview.
So don't
Yeah,
lump
that has.
me in with your lot because I'm way better.
Yeah, that has nothing to do with the Christian worldview. That's Old Testament. Try again.
Yeah, it does.
So it's like
It
a
does.
comedian. No, it doesn't. It
Jesus
has nothing
said
to
to
do with
keep
the
the
New
law,
Testament.
right? Jesus said to keep the law. Which law did he say to keep? Where's the law
Well,
at in the
that's open
Bible?
for interpretation. I mean, if you really want to
No,
get
it's not.
technical, actually it is because if you really
No,
look
it's
into
not.
it,
Which
yes, it
law?
is.
Where's it at then? Show us.
Well, so there's two different laws. There's two different law codes.
Okay,
I'm
show
assuming
us.
you're getting
Show
full
us the
progressive.
two. Show
Yes,
us the two. Where they at?
sure.
Where do I turn
Okay,
them?
so and I'm agreeing that there are 613. I'm agreeing to that. However,
All right.
actually, if you really look at it, there's only 603 because those are
Okay.
separated from, those are separated. It's a different law code that the Israelites and the Levitical priests actually created. Now, if you look at the Ten Commandments, those are direct words from God to Moses. So it's two separate law codes. Two separate law codes, right? So we have to establish what is correct and what is false. What you're mistaken is God said this when actually it was the Israelites who actually said that. So then you have the Ten Commandments and what God said. That's the reason why it says, love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, etc., etc., etc. Thou shalt not steal.
Oh,
Nowhere
so
in the
when God
Levitical.
said the greatest of all commands is to love your neighbor as yourself, did that come from the Ten Commandments?
No.
Oh, well, how come he's saying to keep a command that's not in the Ten Commandments then if you're saying the Ten Commandments is the laws you're supposed to keep?
That's a stretch because you have to show me where in the Old Testament Levitical code where it actually says that.
Oh, okay. I will. It's easy. It's Leviticus 19, verse 18.
Oh, thank you for conceding
Here,
again.
I'll read it to you.
Levitical
Yeah,
law
don't worry.
code,
I'm going to read it
my
to you right now.
dude.
You shall not take
Levitical law
vengeance or
code.
bear grudge against your people, but you shall love your neighbor as yourself. Leviticus chapter 19, verse 18.
Sure, Levitical law code. Yeah, I've already established
So
that.
thank you for your concession.
That wasn't a concession. That was an agreement because I said Levitical law code.
No, it wasn't. You asked me where it was, like it wasn't there. Then I showed you.
I
and
said,
you
show
thank you
me.
for
I
my
said, show
concession.
me. I said,
You're a brilliant one.
show me. I said, show me in the Levitical law code.
I just did. Leviticus chapter 19, verse 18. Love your neighbor as
You're missing
yourself.
you're missing the key point. Levitical law code. I didn't say the
Leviticus
Deuteronomy
chapter
code.
19, verse 18
Holy
is
shit,
Levitic
you are
law
totally,
code, my
you're
man.
totally
It's in
missing.
Leviticus. It's a law.
Obviously, you don't get it.
Yeah,
I
I'm the one that don't get it.
I specifically said Levitical. Okay, I didn't say Deuteronomy. I didn't say
Hey,
Numbers.
what chapter did I just read? What chapter did I just read?
It went right over your head. It's cool. It's cool.
Was it from Leviticus?
Whew. Well, I said the Levitical law code. I didn't say Deuteronomy.
Oh, so I read Leviticus
say
chapter
Numbers.
19. Leviticus chapter
you're not
19.
getting it.
You're such a fucking liar.
What did I lie
Shit,
about?
get the fuck out of here. I want to talk to lying motherfuckers. Should have kept him up here anyway. Let him make Christianity look a little worse. How am I going to read you a law from Leviticus and you say, no, not Deuteronomy? Like, I just read fucking Leviticus. Holy shit. Where do some of these people come from? My goodness. The confidence of being wrong. Like, Like I literally read you something from Leviticus, and you say, "Ask for something from Leviticus." Wow, that was a new one to me. That was a new one there. Wow, that was a new one. I hadn't heard that one before.
Hello?
Hey, Mark, are you there?
Hello?
Hey, are you there?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you over 18?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Are you one of the Christians or Hebrew Israelites?
I'm a Christian, Eastern Orthodox.
Cool, man. So which one of these topics you want to talk at us about today?
Can I read them first? I just
Yeah.
joined.
I figured you already had, but go ahead, yeah.
Thank you. If you can't justify the evil God does, why stay in the religion? Why does God condone slavery and injustice? Why doesn't Jesus actually fulfill any prophecy? Okay. I'll take number one.
Okay.
So
what
what
would
do you
your
mean by?
stance
Okay,
on
go
that
ahead.
be?
I would
I was
say
just
that
asking.
it's impossible to describe what evil is without some ethical commitments. So I would ask you, what are your ethical commitments that tells you what good is and what evil is?
Evil is profound immorality or wickedness and causing intentional harm.
Okay, what is the basis by which you determine what is harm and immorality?
Well-being.
Well-being?
Yeah, like in general, if you diminish someone's well-being against their will, I would consider that immoral. And if you heighten that, I would consider it a moral action because you made it better.
Okay, but why is that true? Like, what's the thing that makes that true?
That in general, people prefer happiness over sickness
Well, people
health
prefer,
over sickness and happiness over sadness. So I'm going by elevation of what most people prefer in general.
but does that make it true because people prefer a thing? That means that that's how we
No, it's
should.
absolutely a subjective type thing, but I
So
think that's
then
a good
how
standard to
can
go by.
so then how can you make how can you make a critique of another subjective system? Like,
With
okay,
my
so
subjective system.
right. So would you say that the Christian worldview is also subjective in your paradigm?
Wait, say that again?
Would you say that the Christian worldview is also subjective according to you?
Oh yeah, it's all subjective. Yeah.
So then why is anything actually wrong rather than it just being a subjective preference you hold
Because
to?
it doesn't have to be objective to be wrong. It's still wrong either way.
Okay, but a wrong thing, would you say that I ought not commit slavery?
Yeah, I
But
would say that.
that would be binding to me, right? So that would be a universal.
And alts aren't binding. Laws are binding.
Right, but laws govern what we ought and ought not do, correct?
According to the law, yeah.
So then if you say you implement a law, you say slavery is illegal. Ought I follow the law?
Yes, you should.
So then what's your justification for universally binding laws such that people who live in a
Well-being.
okay, but you said that that's subjective.
Yeah. There's no
But
such
if
thing
it's
as objective
subjective,
morals. You know that, right?
if it's subjective, then it can't be
It's
universally
all
binding.
subjective. There's no such thing as an objective
Then it can't be
morality.
universally binding.
Then there's no universally binding morals because they
Right,
don't
so then
exist.
your own system fails. So your own system fails,
No, it
and it's
don't.
not
My
that God
system
is
is
actually
fine. The
evil.
objective moral system fails because it does not exist. You can't demonstrate that this
Right,
book
so
is
then
objectively moral.
your system fails to secure rational critique of other systems because it's
No,
subjective.
it doesn't.
So yes, it is. It's subjective.
Okay,
So
well, give us the objective one, and I'll correct myself.
okay, hold on. I just finished brushing my teeth. Let me just spit 1 second.
Yeah, you're good. I was wondering what that was.
Thank you. So if objective morality does not exist, you cannot secure rational norms
Okay, well,
because
demonstrate for us
morality
that
morality.
they do
No,
exist.
I'm doing it. I'm doing it by
Okay, good,
arguing
good,
from the
sorry.
impossibility of the contrary. It's a type of structural
No,
argument.
no. Just prove objective morals exist. Don't make a
Okay.
case why
Okay. What
subjective
do you mean
morals are
by
bad. Make a case
okay?
why objective morals exist. That's what we want to
Okay.
hear.
things the exact same way?
What?
So like I'm trying to prove a thing, right? But do I prove a thing the same way I would prove some other thing? Like
Sure.
take for example, mathematical theorems. Do I prove that 2 + 2 = 4 in the same way that I prove that that lizards can run on water?
Yeah, you prove it in the same way that you're proving that it's possible.
And how would that? How is it the case that by proving a mathematical theorem is the exact same way that I used an empirical proof?
I'm not saying
how
that
can
you
a
do math
mathematical
the
proof
same
be
way
the
that
same
you
as
prove a lizard walked on water. I'm saying the way you
That's
prove
exactly what
things
I'm
is
saying.
showing that they align with reality.
Okay, but reality is a metaphysical claim. What is reality?
Reality is the world we live in, the universe.
So the reality is the universe?
Reality is the state of the universe we live in, where things and laws of physics actually apply.
Okay, would in your worldview would that exclude any metaphysical concepts? So like would it
If you can't show it
exclude
to be
anything
true,
not
yeah.
physical? Would it exclude anything
It
not
would if you
physical?
can't show it to be true. If you can't prove it to be true, yeah.
Okay, so I need your standard by which you describe what you
Why
prove
is
a
this
thing
all
to be
about
true.
me? Like, if you think majority
No, because if I don't know
objective morals are real, then prove
if I
it.
don't know how your
Just
standard
prove
if
it.
I don't know
Prove objective.
if I don't
What's an object? Give us an example of one then. What's an objective moral?
the objective moral standard, I would say one of them would be that the human beings are made in the image of God, therefore you ought not murder human beings. That would be an objective moral standard.
Well, how come God murders a bunch of people?
Okay, now we have to define what murder is. What is murder? Define
It's
it.
unlawful or unjust unaliving of people.
Okay, can God, as the maximally great being, do that which is contrary to his nature?
Absolutely.
Okay, justify that. Without begging
He's
the
all
question.
powerful.
No. Justify how a maximally great being can contradict his own nature.
Don't leave it to me to tell you qualities of your God. That don't make any sense. I
I'm
can
not-
read
I'm
you the
not
book
asking-
and
no,
show
no,
you
hold
where
on.
he's murdering people.
Brother,
How about that?
hold on. I'm asking you a question about metaphysics itself. Metaphysically
I don't
speaking,
even know what metaphysics are supposed to be.
dude, it's about the particulars of your worldview, like what you hold to as a worldview. Like if I'm
I
a
hold that
theist.
something's not true if you can't prove it to be true in reality.
Okay.
It has to line
All right.
up
So
with
then
reality.
I'll answer it like this. When you say that God kills people in the Bible, you have no justification for why that's murder, because your standard is
I do.
subjective and holds no
Nope.
binding authority over me. So you can't actually tell me
So
that
you-
when God
So you don't
kills
actually know what justice is, or what are you?
No,
I'm not
I'm
even sure what
saying
you're trying to say.
that your critique has no binding rational force on me because it's subjective, not objective. Therefore,
You don't have
no
an
reason-
objective force, dude. That's what I'm telling you.
I'm saying that under your system, dude, I'm critiquing your system under your paradigm.
And we're asking you to prove yours, and you keep coming back to mine.
I am proving mine. Okay, so I'll
You
prove
can't
mine.
prove yours is true by discrediting mine.
God is not evil because because by the nature of who he is, if he committed an evil action, it would contradict his very nature. So when you make a critique of a position, you have to provide a basis for what evil is, right? So if you're saying that, if you're saying that what God does is evil, you need a basis for evil. That's my critique. You have no basis for evil by which.
Unaliving. What are you talking about? I don't have
Great.
no
Okay,
basis.
great.
I've
So
given
God,
you one
God
5
justifies
times now.
God justifies the killing of people because human beings are evil and they do evil actions.
Okay, well, what
That's
did these
why
babies that God had bashed to people? What evil did they commit?
when God ends the life of a human being, it doesn't necessarily entail that, one, it is because they did an evil action, or two, because
well,
they
why
deserved
else would
it.
he do it?
If God decides to end a human being's life, that's not evil because God doesn't
Perfect.
arbitrarily. It's not
Hey,
God,
that's
that
great.
God arbitrarily ends a human
Amen,
being's life
brother.
just because the sake
Amen.
he can
So
do it.
what was the justification to unalive innocent babies?
Stop. When
Yep,
God
you
ends
stop.
the
You
brother.
Good
I'm trying
Lord,
to answer the
I'm
question.
agreeing with you. I know. I'm already agreeing with you, though. You don't have
So
to
right,
keep
then the
answering
flood
it.
is
What
the
is
flood
the
isn't wrong.
justification to unalive an innocent baby?
Because if God decides to end that baby's life, then that's within his prerogative because he gives it the life. That doesn't entail, therefore, that it's unjust because he decides to end the life that he gives.
Oh, okay. So what is your actual standard of justice that you would hold God
The
to?
Eastern Orthodox paradigm. The whole Eastern Orthodox paradigm.
I don't know what that is.
So, are you familiar with Catholicism at all?
Yeah.
Take that, but exclude the Pope, exclude the infallibility of the Magisterium, exclude the Immaculate Conception, and exclude the Immaculate Conception, exclude the dogmatic statements of the Pope. Basically, if you exclude all of those things, it's basically the same as Eastern Orthodoxy.
Okay, cool. So, so what's your standard of justice?
So in the Eastern Orthodox paradigm, we view God as the ultimate source of goodness itself. So when God does a thing, right, in order for him to be consistent with his nature, which it's impossible for him to not be consistent with his nature, otherwise he would not be maximally great. And if God's not maximally great, he's not God. Therefore, he could not exist if he was able to contradict his own nature, because contradictions entail a collapse of a system or a worldview. So when we look at the Levitical laws, we see
So when God allowed slavery, it wasn't acting outside
right,
of
but
his
it doesn't.
nature,
It doesn't follow. It doesn't follow that slavery is. It does not follow that slavery in itself is inherently evil. That does not follow. You would need to prove that.
Oh, well, I think it is inherently evil.
Right, but that's subjective and arbitrary. Why is it actually wrong and evil?
I can give you reasons for that. Are you just going to discredit them when I do and say,
well, your
it's
system
just subjective, or does it even matter?
Right, because if your system is subjective, then it's not
They're
binding
all
to me.
subjective,
Then it's
buddy.
not
They're-
binding.
You have not
then it's not
demonstrated
binding
an
to me.
objective system
Then
of
it's not
anything
binding.
to
Then
anyone
it's not
yet.
binding to me. Then it's not binding to me, and you
Okay,
haven't
then
actually
give us
proved
an objective one. What makes slavery objectively okay in God's eyes?
I'm not saying it's objectively okay or objectively
God allowed
evil.
it.
I'm saying, listen, I'm saying a particular thing about slavery. I'm saying this: slavery is not inherently evil. Slavery depends
Okay,
on
justify
how
that.
slavery depends on the relationship of the master and the servant.
Oh,
So because
we're there.
God
We did
because Paul tells us that we ought to obey our
good kind of slavery. We only let the
You're
good
already
kind of
presupposing that slavery
in
is
the
bad inherently,
Bible.
but you haven't
It's
justified
Deuteronomy
that.
owning people's property is the good kind of slavery.
You're presupposing that
Yeah,
slavery
God,
is
yeah, God
inherently
just
evil,
allows the
but you
good
haven't
kind of
justified
slavery,
that.
right?
You haven't justified that slavery
haven't-
is
okay.
inherently evil.
My God.
Because you keep presupposing that
You
it's
are-
inherently evil.
They got you trained so good, it's ridiculous. Like, how many
Right,
times
because you
have I
can't
said
even you're
all of this is
presupposing a bunch of
subjective?
things that you have not justified.
How many times have I said this is all subjective? I've
Right, so then
justified it.
it's
You
not
just
binding.
don't accept it.
So then it's not
You
binding.
literally
Slavery is
discredit
not inherently
everything
evil.
I'm saying
Slavery
because
is
you're
not
saying
inherently
it's-
evil
Sir,
because
will
your
you
standard
please
is
stop
subjective.
talking while I'm talking? Listen, everything I have said so far, you go, that's subjective. I don't accept it.
No, I'm saying it's subjective. Therefore, it loses
You have
its
literally
rational.
said that
Dude,
every single time with every
on.
single thing I've said.
When I said that's subjective, that's because if the thing is subjective in question, then it loses
Beautiful.
rational force.
Okay.
It loses. Do you know
Well,
what it
you-
means to lose rational force?
Yep, you can shove it all down my throat right now and prove that objective morals exist. Go ahead.
Yeah, by the impossibility of the contrary. If they did not exist, you could not secure binding rational norms.
Okay,
Therefore,
so
knowledge would
what
not be
is one?
possible.
Is it objectively wrong to own people as property?
No, that's the
or not?
argument. No, dude, that's
Okay,
the argument.
so that's fine.
If, no,
is it
hold on.
objectively wrong to unalive innocent babies?
Dude, do you understand what I just said and the entailment of what I just said?
Yeah.
What
No,
is
it
the
don't make
entailment?
sense.
What is the entailment of impossibility of the contrary?
I don't know what that means. That's Christianese.
It's not Christianese.
You
It's an
can't
actual
prove-
argument, dude. It's
No,
an
prove
argument,
to us an objective moral exists.
right? If objective morals,
Don't discredit subjective ones.
if objective
Credit
morals,
objectiveness.
if objective morals did not exist, then you could not secure universally binding rational norms, which would make knowledge impossible.
Okay, so why did we get rid of slavery if it was objectively okay, the good kind? Why don't we just do the good kind that God said?
Because the kind of slavery that was going on, let's say in the United States, was not permissible according to the scriptures and the tradition. Because
okay, so what in scripture forbade that?
What?
What in scripture forbade antebellum slavery in the antebellum South?
Because the scriptures say that mankind is equal because we have the imago Dei. So due to the fact that we have the imago,
mankind is equal.
All men are equal. Because
have you read the book?
All men. Yes,
No.
There's nowhere in the book that states
No,
that
men are
that
worth more than
human
women,
beings are
and
not
Israelite men are worth more than everybody else in the world. So where you're getting
Where
all
does
men
it
are
say
equal,
that?
I have no
Where does it
clue.
say that?
You ain't getting it from
Where
the
does it?
Bible.
Where does it say that?
Where does it say what?
Where does it say what you just said, that Israelite men and women are greater in value than Gentiles?
Monetary value in a courtly manner, you'll have to pay more for a man in the case that you have to buy a man or pay for
How
a
does
man
that
than you will a
entail?
woman.
How does that entail that women and men are then therefore no longer
Because
equal?
men get rights that women don't get in the Bible. Like, for example, it says you can
what do you
sell
mean
your
a
daughter.
right?
Listen, it says you can sell your daughter as a slave, and she shall not go out as the male slaves do. So the male slaves are getting a right that the female slaves are not, and that is the chance to leave after 6 years. If
Again,
it's indentured services.
So how do you know that entails that there is some greater value in one kind of human being and lesser value
something
in
is
another
offered
kind?
to a man that is not offered to a woman. I know that's hard to understand.
So
for
now
Christians,
you're an egalitarian. Now you're an egalitarian. Now you need to justify egalitarianism.
I've always been one. You're not.
No,
You
okay,
get to
no.
justify
Hold
how
on.
that is equal to men and women.
Hold on. You're an egalitarian. You're saying that which is done to men also should be done unto women. So if there is some unequitable state of affairs, inequity entails inequity is immoral. Inequity itself. So if a woman gets a thing that's better than a man just because she's a woman, that's immoral. And same for the vice versa, right?
If you can sell your daughter as a slave, you should also be able to sell your son as a slave. That would be.
Would that be inequity then?
No.
Dude, do you know what inequity is? Inequity.
Yeah, do you?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I was asking you, is that inequity?
I don't know why you're totally discarding what I'm saying and trying to move on to a question, but you're going to have to address what I'm actually asking you.
If it's
Nope,
inequity...
I'm not saying nothing else until you answer my actual question I've already asked you.
Okay, so the question is, why is it that a person can sell their female slave but not sell their male slave?
Why don't they get to go out as the male slaves do?
Because actually, can I read the verse?
Yeah. Exodus 21, verse 7.
Exodus 21. Do you mind if I need to get my Bible? Hold on, let me just get my Bible.
No, go ahead. Here, I'll read it to you right now. It says, when a man sells his daughter as a slave, she shall not go out as the male slaves do.
Exodus 21. Exodus 21, which verse?
Verse 7.
Verse 7. A man sells his daughter who has designated her for himself, then he shall let her be redeemed. He shall have no right to sell her to a foreign people, since he has broken faith with her. If he designates her for his son, he shall deal with her as a daughter. Right. So what's the immoral thing here? Because it's saying if she designates,
you skipped right over verse 7 for starters.
Verse 7 states, Exodus 21, verse 7. When a man
read verse 7. You started reading at 8.
No, I'm not. Verse 7 states.
Yes, you did. You did not read verse 7 just then.
Okay, so I'll start from the beginning. I'll start from the beginning of the chapter then. Now these are
start at verse 7.
Okay. Then his master shall bring him to God, and he shall bring him to the door or the doorpost, and his master shall bore his ear through an. Dude, because the verse 7 in my Bible starts off with, because I'm reading ESV, it starts off with, when a man sells his daughter as a slave, she shall not go
Oh,
out as
yeah,
the
that's
male
verse
slaves
7.
do.
Thank you.
Right, dude, that's what I was reading. When a
No,
man
it
sells
wasn't.
his daughter as a slave, she shall not go out as the male slaves do. If she does not
There
go
you
to the
go.
master who has designated her for himself, then she shall let her be redeemed. He shall have no right to sell her to a foreign people, since he has broken faith with her. So it's the master who is breaking faith with his slave. So if the slave is like, okay, now
You,
I wish to go out. I
well,
wish to go out. The master can let her go because of the master
the
who broke
question
faith.
was, why doesn't a female get to go out as the male slaves do?
I don't know the reason why.
Okay, well, why didn't you just say that?
Because I didn't hear you the first time.
Well, the reason why is because it does not consider females equal with males. Males get special
Okay, can you
privileges
justify
all
that?
through the Old Testament. We just did.
No. That's a claim. You say the reason why is
Holy
because,
shit.
dude,
If
you're
males
saying
can go out after 6 years, but females can't, how is that equal in your mind?
because it doesn't automatically entail that because a special privilege is given to a male that is not given to a female, that therefore collapses equality between
A
human beings.
special
That
privilege
doesn't follow.
is given
That
to
it doesn't
a male
follow.
that
It
is
doesn't
not given
follow.
to a
It
female.
does not follow that therefore their natures are no longer equal. That doesn't follow because a
It
king
does follow.
Because, no,
it
it
just
doesn't.
doesn't follow in
No,
your
it
very
doesn't
simple
because you haven't
mind.
justified
Yes,
it.
it does.
You haven't justified it because you keep appealing to the thing in question to prove the thing in question. So when you try to say that because a special privilege is given to a male that's not given to a female, that's why it's
Hello,
unequal. That's why it's unequal.
privileges that you're not. Are we?
That's
equal?
what's in question. That's what's in question.
You have,
How does
you have
that
got,
prove?
You have got to
How
be
does
kidding
that
me.
prove
Holy
that
crap.
that means
Why, how
that
is
that's
this
no
that I
longer
just throw up in
equal?
my mouth over and over?
Because
and
it doesn't
over again?
entail what you think
Sir,
it does.
Mark,
That's what's in question.
Mark, listen. Mark, are you listening?
Yeah.
If I get special privileges that you don't get, then we're not equal, are we?
Justify that.
I'm asking you a question.
No, because it does not follow that.
No,
I just simply
thank
because
you.
I
The
get.
answer is no.
No,
Thank
I said
you. It's
I-
about
hold
time
on.
you
Wait.
saw
Stop.
reason.
Bro, when you asked me if I get a special privilege that you don't get, it means that we're not equal, right? That's your question? I was responding
Yeah,
no.
that was my question.
I was responding no in the sense that it does not follow that if you get a special privilege and I don't get a special privilege, that means that we're not equal. That does not follow. That's what I'm saying.
It does mean that in regards
No, it
to
doesn't.
the
No, it
rights and privileges granted to you
no, it
by
doesn't.
God.
No,
that
it doesn't.
aren't- What?
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
Okay,
No, it
justify
doesn't.
that. Justify
Because multiple times in the scriptures, Jesus himself gives more privileges to other servants that he doesn't give to other servants. So, for example,
No
the
shit.
parable of the talents, Jesus gives a parable of a master who gives 10 talents to one servant, 5 talents to another servant, and 1 talent to a third servant. Are those equal in number?
Obviously not.
Right. So then just because a different amounts of a thing is given to a person, it doesn't entail does not entail that the servants are then unequal in status as human beings. That does not
Oh, yes,
follow.
it does.
No,
Yes,
it doesn't.
it does.
You haven't justified it. No, it doesn't. Because you
I'm
need a
about
premise.
to. I'm
You
gonna
would need a
justify it
premise.
even further for you now, since
You would need a
capable of
normative bridge-
understanding what
you would need a normative bridge premise.
egalitarian actually is. All right. So this is from Romans chapter 9. It says, "Not by works, but by his call, she was told, the elder shall serve the younger, as it is written, I have loved Jacob, and I have hated Esau." Then what are we to say? Is there injustice on God's part? By no means. For he says to Moses, I will have mercy on whom I will have mercy, and I will have compassion on whom I will have compassion. So he's given some people love, some people hate, before they're even born. And if you consider that equal, pa-ha, buddy. Pa-ha. How come God hates Jacob or loves Jacob but hated Esau before they was even born? Is that egalitarian? Is that equal? Is that equality? How come God gives mercy to some and then bashes other people to pieces? Is that equality? Is that mercy for the same crimes?
Does that word need to be defined?
What
The word
word?
hate. The word hate, does that need to be defined?
No, I would assume we both know what love and
No,
hate is.
I don't grant you that words have self-evident meanings, particularly
Oh,
text. I
okay.
don't
So
grant you.
let's go ahead and use the definition that you want to, and that means hate means love less. Is that what you're going to say?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, how come God doesn't love everybody equally? Let's phrase it definitionally where you'll accept it.
Because God has particular kinds of love for those who are his people, and then different kinds of
Oh, I
love
thought
for those who are
everybody
not
was
his
his
people.
people.
No,
Oh, I
not
thought
everyone.
everybody was
No,
his
no, no.
people.
Not everyone is God's people. No, that's
Oh,
not true.
wow. Well, thanks for your concession.
Right, because Romans chapter 11 says God has not forsaken his people, those whom he foreknew, and then Paul argues that those whom God foreknew are only ever those
I know.
who are people of faith. Are only ever those who are people of faith. So the people who are God's people are those who are people of faith. So when the scripture says that God loves the world, God has a general kind of love for all human beings because they're made in the imago Dei, but God also has a special communicative familial bond with those who are his people by faith. So yes, God can have different kinds of love for human beings, because there is a greater familial bond between those who belong to him by covenant by faith and those who do not belong to him. So no, that doesn't follow that God is being unequal.
You just admitted that's unequal, even though you don't realize it.
No, it's not,
Thanks
because
anyway.
it doesn't
So
follow that
we
they're
figured out that
unequal in nature. It doesn't follow that they're unequal in nature.
Yes, it does.
No, it
Yes,
doesn't. No, it doesn't.
So we figured out you're okay with slavery. So let's move on to a different objective moral here that we can.
Yeah, but you haven't proved that that's actually wrong. You just think it is.
Okay. Well, we figured out you think it's okay, so
right.
whether
But
it's
even if
subjective or not,
I
you're
think
okay with slavery and I'm not, so.
even if I think it's okay, you can't tell me why it's wrong.
I did it a whole bunch of times. Every time I tell you something, you just go, it's subjective, so I don't have to accept
that's
it.
my
So
preference.
what's the point in me even trying to explain it anymore?
The point is, you're saying it's wrong. You're saying it's wrong because that's my preference that I think it's wrong. That's not binding on me.
Yeah, I know. Nothing is. Anyway, so do you think it's morally objective to, or morally wrong, objectively wrong to bash an innocent baby to pieces?
Are you really talking about the verse where it's the Edomites who were saying that? Have you read the whole verse? Have you read the whole chapter? Because it was the Edomites saying that.
What chapter do you think I'm reading?
I think you're talking about the chapter from Isaiah
13. Well, this is one of them.
Yep. Isaiah
This is
13.
Babylonians, not Edomites.
Isaiah 13. Let me pull it up.
Yep.
1 second.
So is it objectively wrong to kill innocent babies?
The oracle concerning Babylon, which Isaiah the son of Amos saw. On a bare hill, raise a signal, cry it aloud to them.
Wait,
wave
you
the
don't
hand.
have to just start reading it.
I have to read it.
Hold on. Listen, just answer the question first, and then we will read it. Do you think it's objectively wrong to murder innocent babies?
It's for human beings. Yes, it is wrong to unjustly take the life.
Okay, so for human beings it is, but for God to do it, it's perfectly acceptable.
God doesn't unjustly take the lives of human babies. He does so
if
because
it's not justified, it's unjustly taken. So can you justify it?
Because God, because God can do with the lives of the human beings he creates as he sees fit. Because he is ultimate goodness himself, so he's not going to contradict.
That's not justifying. That's just God being the.
You don't like the justification. You don't like the justification, but that is a justification.
There's not a justification. Saying God did it because he's God is not a justification.
No, that's not the argument. I'm saying God can do it because it's within his prerogative to do with as he sees fit his creation.
As he sees fit. He sees fit to bash a bunch of babies' brains out and have women raped in this chapter.
Okay, so can we read the Bible? Can we read the chapter and show you why this is incorrect? What you're interpreting it as?
Which part do you want to read that you think is going to?
The Isaiah part where you're talking about the bashing the babies.
Yeah. What about it? What?
Can I read the chapter? Can I read the chapter?
Do you want to read it and then come back?
No. You're saying that it says they bash the babies on the rocks, right? Which verse is that?
No.
Why don't we just
It's
like
verse
cut to the
16.
chase here? Because like they're gonna defend infanticide all day, right? But go ahead and defend the rapes in that chapter.
What rapes? What are you talking about?
It's
In
in the
verse
next
16, it
verse.
says, "Their infants will be dashed to pieces before their eyes, their houses will be plundered, and their wives will be raped."
Right. Does that mean that that the Lord is condoning this?
Yes.
Yeah. God
How does it
commands
mean
Explicit
that
verse,
if
yes.
God is saying, oh, no, that's question begging. How do you know that God
What?
is saying a thing? How do you know that
What
God's
question
saying
was
a thing?
asked?
How do you know that God saying a thing will happen means that God condones that thing happening?
He brought his
Because
elect
he ordered
together
it?
to do that.
No. How do you know he ordered it? Because he's God.
Because
who
it
se- oh, that's not-
says he
hold on, hold on.
commanded it.
No. Where does it say he commanded it?
He brought them
In
together
verse 3,
for
it
that
says, "I
purpose.
myself have commanded my consecrated ones. I have summoned my warriors, my proudly
Mm-hmm.
exulting ones, to execute my anger. Listen, a tumult on the mountains is a great multitude. Listen, an uproar of the kingdoms of nations
Mm-hmm.
gathering together. The Lord of hosts is mustering an army for battle. They come
Mm-hmm.
from a distant land, from the ends of the heavens, the Lord and the weapons of his indignation, to destroy the whole earth. Well, for the
There
day
you
of
go.
the Lord
There's
is
your
near.
justification.
It will come like destruction from the Almighty." Like, yeah, this is all God doing.
Right.
Stuff.
So that's why the Lord.
Right.
So that's the reason why. So now we have the justification for why the Lord is doing this. It's because the Lord is punishing evil. Okay.
Raping women.
What's
Just so we're
what
clear,
is the
raping
what is the
women, right?
prerogative?
Yeah.
What is the
Yeah, the babies
prerogative?
were evil,
What's
I'm
the
sure.
prerogative? What's the prerogative that the Lord has given the context of the entirety of the scriptures? When the Lord punishes a people, it's because they have done evil. And so
what
when the
crime?
Lord punishes
What evil
people,
does it-
For
What
what
evil did they
crime?
do?
For what crime is rape a just
because
punishment?
those people,
For
those
what
people,
crime, little guy, is rape
Mm-hmm.
a just punishment?
He's not saying that those people should be raped. He's
You
saying
can
that
answer
that's
this
what,
question
that's what will
because you
happen.
just said
It literally
you said
says
he's
to
doing
rape
it to
them.
execute his anger.
No,
this
it's
is you
not
said
saying
that you
it's-
said that this is punishment. Did you not?
Yeah, so it's not
Okay,
saying
great.
That who's,
And
it's
God,
not saying, it's not
does
saying that
God
who's gonna
punish
be-
unjustly?
Does it follow?
Does
that
God
when
punish
says This is
unjustly?
how it's going to. No.
Right. Okay, so this is just punishment. So I'm asking you,
Yeah.
for what crime is rape a just punishment?
When God decides to punish a people for evil, He may allow
What evil?
He may allow
it's
the
not
consequences.
allowing.
He
If
okay.
it
Says who? Says who?
says omniscience, guy.
Wait. How can you justify how omniscience means that God can't or can and cannot
Because he
allow
knew what they
some
would
forms
be
of punishment?
doing, and he brought them there to do that.
Okay, tell me how you know
And he
that because
commanded
God
them
omniscience
to do that.
No, tell me how you know how God having omniscience means that He knows. He means that He causes people to do evil.
Because he knew they would
He's
do it.
commanding
He
them
knew they would
to
do
do
it
this.
and
That
brought them
is
there
question
to do
begging.
it.
That's what's in question. How do you
You
know
are
that
such
God
a
knows an
fucking
event?
moron. You don't
How
know
do
what
you
question
that
begging
because
is,
God knows
Goofy.
an event?
Quit saying question begging.
That's
You don't know
because-
what it is. You
Yes,
don't
I
know
do
what
know
it is.
You're using the
You
premise
don't know
of
what
your
it is.
position. You're using your position to prove your position by your position. That is
No,
a
I'm
circle.
not. I'm using
Because
the
I'm
words in the
asking-
book.
Stop.
We're
Dude,
reading the
stop,
book
shut
that
up.
says God
Shut up.
commanded
I
baby
asked
bashing.
dude.
You are
and
such a
grape. No,
child.
You shut
Bro,
up.
I asked
You
you-
don't get to come on here and tell us to shut up, dude.
What a fucking
Just
child.
God
not
is
asking-
ordering these things to happen. So if
No,
you can
you haven't
justify it, justify it. If not, just call it
Justified.
evil.
You haven't justified it because
What is the evil that they deserve to be
because-
great
I'm
for?
answering the question. You said
Well, please do.
Stop. You said that because God has omniscience, it therefore follows that because He has omniscience, He causes people to do things. That is unjustified. You
Didn't
need
say
a
that.
premise.
Nobody
You need a
said that.
premise. Yes, that's what the entailment
He
of your
knew they
argument
would
is.
do that, and he called them there to do that.
That is what you need to justify.
He
How do
knew
you
they
know
would do
God-
that, and he called them there to do that.
That is a claim you have not proven. Justify that. He
Is your
called them
God
to do
omniscient?
Mark.
That's
God-
what's
we
in
Is your-
question.
is your God omniscient?
That's what's in question.
Mork.
That's what's in question.
Mork.
How does having omniscience
Mork.
entail
We
that what
read
you say it
it.
is?
Because
All right, hold on, just a second. Let me read it one more time. Let me read it for him. It says, I myself have commanded my consecrated ones. So who is I commanding them? Who is that?
The consecrated ones? That
No,
Who is
who
the
is I?
I?
When it says I myself have
that's the
commanded
Lord
my
speaking.
consecrated
That's the Lord
ones.
speaking.
That's God. Okay, so God is commanding something, isn't he?
But does it mean that
Okay,
that
well,
command?
what is he
does that
commanding
command?
in this chapter?
his armies to fight.
And you're almost there.
His armies to fight. That's what's being commanded.
Execute.
Where does
He
it say
didn't command them
execute?
to fight. He's
No.
commanding them to destroy Babylon.
Execute
Okay.
his anger.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So does
You're
that
almost
follow
there.
that,
You're
does
so
that follow
close.
that because God is saying execute his anger, he also includes? Can you
Yes.
justify why it also includes?
Yeah.
Justify. That's not justification.
Omniscience.
Just saying yes. Just saying yes does not justify
Omniscience.
that.
This is a
That's not a
prophecy of what
justification.
they're going
That's
to
what's
do.
in question. That's
This
what's in
is
question,
a prophecy
dumbass.
of what
That's
they're
what's in
going to
question,
do.
dumbass. That's
This
what's
is
in
a
question.
prophecy of
That
what they're
is
going to
what's
do,
in
Marky
question.
Mark.
That's what's in question,
Mark,
dumbass.
why
Marky
don't you
Mark. No
understand?
one's dumber
You
than
guys
you
are
up
so
here.
dumb. You
No
guys
one
are
up
so
here.
dumb
No one up
because
here is
you're
remotely
keep
as dumb
begging
as
the
you.
question by
You
presupposing
don't know
that
what
omniscience
question begging is.
entails
Stop saying
that God
it.
is saying
You
that
don't know
because
what
they're-
question
because he says
begging
that
is.
their wives will be ravished.
Little
you're
boy,
saying that
begging the
omniscience
question
don't
that
know
entails
what
that
question
the
commands
begging
something
ravishing
that he
will be
actually
done by
commanded
those whom
to.
God has chosen. That does not follow.
Mark, stop spazzing
You're
out,
so
man.
full of shit.
Like, we're both
Because
talking
you
normal.
keep begging
Like,
the question and not justifying the
Mark,
thing that I'm asking you
Mark.
to justify.
Mark, it is not begging the question to
Yes,
read
it
the
is.
chapter, and it says, no, listen, it is not question begging that the chapter says, I myself have commanded this, and to then ask the question if he actually commanded it. That makes no sense. That's
I'm
not begging the
asking you
question.
about what's the command, and you're saying the command is to go rape. You haven't
Hang on,
justified
I gotta
that
block
because
somebody
the
real
text
quick.
doesn't say that. The text does not command
Yeah, I
the
just got a
people to
restriction,
rape.
actually.
The
Yeah, I
text,
gotta-
all it
I know
says
who did
is
it
that
too.
their
I'm
wives
blocking.
will be ravished. That's all the
No.
text says. How
It
does
is-
that mean
no.
that that's a
You're
commandment to
just
rape
being
them?
dishonest now.
Can I not block
No,
you?
I'm not, because all the text says is that, quote, and their wives ravished. How does that mean that the Lord is commanding
Mark,
his
this
army to do
entire
that?
chapter
You have
is
not
a
justified
proclamation.
that.
Mark, this entire chapter is a proclamation against Babylon. Do you know what a proclamation from God is?
A thing that he says that will happen in
do.
the future.
Yeah, he's commanding all this stuff that he's proclaiming to happen. He does it to the Israelites too. In Jeremiah chapter
No.
19,
A proclamation
after he
is
hold
not always a
on, wait,
commandment.
just let me finish.
Stop. That
Just let
doesn't
me
follow.
finish. No, let me finish.
Okay, go ahead.
A proclamation. There's another chapter in Jeremiah where God makes a proclamation against Jerusalem, against the Israelites, right? And he declares in this proclamation that they are going to eat their children in the siege of Jerusalem. And then at the very end of it, this is what it says. It says, Thus says the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, I am now bringing upon this city and all its towns and inhabitants all the disasters that I have pronounced against it. So this is clearly saying that when God makes a proclamation, he then brings that proclamation into reality. Isaiah the 13th is the same thing. He is proclaiming Babylon be destroyed. And he declares that all this stuff is going to happen in that destruction. And then he makes it happen. It is literally saying he is commanding these things to happen. He
No.
is
That doesn't
commanding
follow.
it.
Hold on. That doesn't
It
follow.
does.
A proclamation of, no, it doesn't. Because just saying it does not provide sufficient justification for the thing in question. That's retarded. So you need to justify
Now
why
I
a
gotta go.
proclamation. Why does a proclamation entail a
You can't be using- I'm
instantiation of a
restricted
state
anyway,
of
so I'm gonna
affairs?
leave him up here.
Give me a justification
He's
for why
bringing in the ratings.
proclamation entails. Give me justification for why proclamation entails instantiation of a state of affairs by the causal power in question.
Because he's the
Okay,
causal
so-
power.
That's what's
Yeah.
in question.
It's in your
That's what's in
answer.
It's
question,
not
dumbass.
in question. It's in question to you because you don't want God to be
No.
the one
That's
doing
what's in
it. But we're just
question,
clearly
dumbass.
reading.
He's bringing.
Justify.
He's bringing
That's
there.
not a
He's
justification.
causing this to
That's
happen.
what's in
Genius.
question. That's what's in question.
He's
sounds like a real
bringing
Christian.
them
That's what's in question.
together. Genius.
But that's what's
He's
well,
bringing
dude,
them there. That's the
when-
causal
when you-
action.
when
This
God
is the
proclaims
day
a thing
of
that
the
will
causal
happen,
anger.
You're saying that means that God instantiates that state of affairs. You have not justified that. You
God
just keep
tells you
saying
he does.
because
What are
he
you
does.
talking about?
Because he does is what's in question.
What the fuck are you talking about?
They come
If-
from a
okay,
distant land,
can
from
I
the
come
ends
to-
of heaven, the Lord and his weapons of indignation to destroy the whole earth. Well, for the day of the Lord is near. It will come like destruction from the Almighty. Therefore, all hands will be feeble, and every human heart will melt. They will be terrified. Pains and agony will seize them. They will anguish like a woman in labor. They will look aghast at one another. Their faces will be aflame. See, the day of the Lord is coming, cruel with wrath and fierce anger, to make a desolation of the earth and destroy the sinners from it. This is God destroying
The sinners.
on the
So
day
the
of the
sinners?
Lord's anger.
Wait, the
day is
sinners.
Does that matter?
Wait, the sinners. So
That's
if,
what we-
if
How
the
does
Lord
that
is
matter?
destroying, wait, hold on.
We
If the
tried to
Lord
get
is
you to
destroying,
the sin
if
earlier,
the
and you
Lord,
refused to
if the
adjust it.
Lord,
Now
if
that's
the
the
Lord
issue
is
here.
destroying, if the Lord is destroying the sinners and the sinners are rebelling against Him, can you justify why that's evil? If the Lord is
What sin did the babies
enacting
commit?
justice on people who
What
rebel
sin did
against
the
Him?
babies commit?
Sure. Yeah.
What sin
sorry?
justifies rape? What sin did the babies commit?
How,
and
can
what
you
sin
can you
justifies
justify
rape?
can you justify why that's being literal rather than being rhetoric? Rhetorical.
Wow. Wow.
Laugh all you
Wow.
want, but you keep presupposing
W
that this is
concession. You
literal.
did
How
it
do you
again,
know-
Mark.
How do you know?
Yeah.
how
Mark,
do
you
know
are
that it's
you are
literal?
one of the most gracious
Right,
conceders I've
you're
ever
so
seen
dumb,
on here.
bro. You're so dumb. How do you
Yeah.
know it's being literal rather than rhetorical?
Yeah. How do you know
can you
Jesus
be
was
rhetorical
crucified?
rape?
How do you know
Can you
Jesus was
give me-
crucified,
Dude,
Mark?
Give me a justification
Mark,
for your
Mark,
interpretative lens
Mark,
such that
Mark,
it comes to
Mark,
a literal.
Mark,
a
Mark.
literal
How do you know
saying
Jesus
that
was
God-
crucified, Mark?
Because of
How do you know that was
epistemic
literal,
principle.
Mark?
Because the epistemic principle which I hold to determines these things.
Because I like it that way.
You have an epistemic principle too, dumbass. You have an epistemic principle too, dumbass. What's your epistemic principle?
With regard to
Hey,
what?
you're not supposed to be
Do you
calling
know
people.
what's an
Jesus told you
epistemic
not to call
principle?
people
What is
names,
an
buddy. Like,
epistemic
you need to start
principle?
talking more like
It's
a
a
Christian.
it's a methodology to justify your belief.
Oh, so then you need to justify why in your
Oh, he knew the thing. I thought I had a trap card.
Oh,
Oh,
incredible. So you now need to
Motherfucker
justify
turned into
in your
Andrew Dice
system
Clay.
and justify in your system.
you're a
your
clown,
epistemic
dude.
principle.
No one needs to engage with you
subjective.
anymore.
It's
You
subjective
literally
in your
just said
system.
this is what.
No,
Your
this is
epistemic
great,
it's
Mac.
over.
No, he's doing awesome.
It's
Therefore,
Mark.
no,
It's
when
over.
interpreting
Mark,
a text,
baby,
you
baby,
do so
baby
with
girl,
whatever
baby,
paradigmatic
baby.
presuppositions
It's
you hold to,
over.
not
You can
because
stop,
they're true,
baby,
but
baby. You
because
can stop
you think
talking.
that
It's
that's the
over
case.
for you.
You're so
You
dumb, bro.
completely
You're so dumb.
annihilated yourself.
Annihilated.
You said
You
it's
just
it's
keep
this way because
presupposing
Really,
arbitrarily
it's this
what
way
a text
because I
means,
want it
but it's
to
just
be.
ad hoc. It's just
Your
ad hoc.
position
You
is,
start trying to
it's
give
this way
trying to
because
give
I
a
want it
moral
to be.
justification for the things you think are the
Yeah.
case. But
So
you
your
haven't given
position
any justification
is that
for the
it's
things you think are
this
the case.
way
When you
because I
think a
want it
text
to be.
says
You don't
that there's-
have
that
any
your children will be
justification.
bad
Man,
rabbits,
it's
that means
Est-
that's literally
ep-
gonna happen.
epistemic-
Because that's just what it says.
Epistemologically,
It just says it. It
ontologically,
just says it.
you don't
That's-
have any of that. You
Man,
shot
man,
yourself in
a
the
because
text
dick.
says what it means because that's what it says, and that's what it means because that's what it says.
No, it
Incredible.
means it means this because I want it
It
to.
means-
Is your position?
Oh no,
That's your
what your
position.
position is. That's what your position is. You're saying
My
that the
position
text
is
says
that
what it
no.
means
My
because
position
that's
is
what
that the
it
word
says.
rape means rape, and that smashing
That's
babies
what your
means smashing
position is,
babies.
and
Yes.
you can't
And our
justify that.
position is
That's
that
your
when God
position.
commands something, He's
Yeah.
actually commanding that
If
stuff
you
to
go-
happen is our position. I know it's crazy, but
If you go beyond the plain reading of the text, you take on a burden of proof to
no, there
justify
is no
that.
plain
So
reading.
go
There
ahead
is no
and
such
go
thing
ahead.
as a
And,
plain reading. There is no such thing as a plain reading of a text. Are you familiar with the two dogmas of empiricism? Are you familiar with the two dogmas of empiricism?
this is so funny.
What is
This
the two dogmas?
so
of,
funny.
What's the
Your
myth
mom
of the
and your
given?
dad.
What is the myth of the given? What's the myth of the given?
What in the fuck are you talking about?
Right, because you guys are so philosophically inept. You think
No,
that
you
things
are
have a
inept.
you think that things have a plain meaning.
You lay
when
on the
nothing
ground
has a plain-
when the Philbros
nothing
have
has
their
a plain-
circle jerk.
Nothing has a plain meaning.
They stand
because
around you.
Plain meaning. Plain
And you're like,
meaning
"Please, God,
itself,
please, guys,
plain
make me
meaning
look like a
itself-
Jackson Pollock right now."
Plain meaning itself needs to be
Please make this
justified.
rape and baby
I'm not
murder
granting to
hyperbolic.
you that there is a such thing as plain meaning. You would need to justify that, and the only way to justify that is within a whole paradigm.
When you
That's
read the
whole
word,
point. That's
when
the
you
whole
read the
point.
word,
Stop.
when you read the word, their wives will be raped. Right? What do you take that, to mean?
Do I need a theory? Do I need a theory of epistemology in order to meaningfully apply words?
No.
Do I need a theory
No.
of epistemology in order to? No, I don't. So
You
then
need
how do
like
I know
a
what
fourth grade
how do I know what
education.
that's saying?
You need a
That
fourth
is
grade
presupposed-
education.
I've got
Okay,
that at least.
how does a
Because we
fourth grade
understand what
education
words
tell
mean.
me- how
We
does
understand what words
that's
mean.
What's in question? No. I'm not granting you that words just automatically have understood meanings. You
We
need to
have
justify it.
common
I'm not
understanding.
granting you
It's
that.
how we communicate,
I'm not
Marky.
granting you that. I'm not granting you that. Prove it.
I don't give a fuck what you grant me. You already
Right,
shot
because-
yourself in the dick. This
because
conversation
if-
was
if-
over like
if-
5 minutes
if
ago.
what you're saying is not the case,
You
then your whole
completely
epistemology
nuked yourself.
collapses. Your whole epistemology
You-
just collapsed, dummy. Your whole
You don't know
your
what
whole
you're
epistemology
talking
just
about.
collapsed. Your
You
whole
don't-
epistemology.
what is my
just collapsed.
epistemology?
Your epistemology relies on classical foundationalism, that there are first principles that we hold to such that a worldview
I love these
can get
script
off the
kitties.
ground.
They're so funny. Like they just
So
they
when you
just
presuppose,
memorize
when you
little,
presuppose
they
as a
just memorize
foundation,
little
right here.
snippets and like
when you
regurgitate them.
presuppose as a foundation, right? Because you don't know how to deal with it.
No,
So
yeah,
when you
because this is
presuppose as a
nonsense.
foundation that
You
words
have to do this stuff
says
because you know your God is evil.
Says you, 'cause
Like
you can't
you
deal with it.
understand that
Says
you do this
'cause
stuff
can't deal
because
with
you
it.
know
Says
your
you 'cause
God
you can't
sucks
deal with it.
ass,
Says
right?
you,
Yeah,
says you 'cause
because
you can't
if
deal
you
with it.
didn't have to go and
why I
twist
think
yourself
like
into
slavery
fucking
Because
pretzels
you have
to
not
defend this
justified that
rapist
words
God,
have
you
self-evident
wouldn't have
meanings.
this
You
philosophical
can't prove
jerk
that.
off session
You
that
can't
you
prove
have with
that.
your friends.
He's
can't prove
justified in
that.
saying slavery's okay because we have
You haven't
subjective
proven that slavery is
opinions
actually
on the
wrong. You just
matter.
think it is because it's my preference that it's wrong.
I know.
So
That's
then why
your
is that
thing. That's
binding
what
on
you
me?
say every
No.
time.
Why is that binding on me if slavery is
I
wrong
never said
in
it
your
was
subjective
binding.
system?
Never said it was. That's
Right,
been
so
you
then it's not
screaming
wrong.
that the whole time,
So-
like I've said
So then
that,
it's
and I
not
haven't.
wrong according
Wait,
to
what's
your
an
system.
objective moral?
No.
A norm that
No,
is
I don't want a
universally
definition.
binding.
I want an example.
What?
I don't want a definition. I want an example.
Okay.
An example of an objective moral.
That people that
Like,
people
do you think
ought
it's
to-
objectively
that people-
wrong to murder
that
babies?
people ought to hold to rational norms.
Ought?
Yes, that people should hold
Ought.
to rational norms. Yes.
Ought
What is
or
that?
objective?
Do you know what a moral is? A moral is a thing we ought to do.
Yeah. Right.
Right.
So
You ought to hold to rational norms so that you can even have conversation.
that is subjective.
Right.
That
so
is
then
your-
if
that is
then
your
if-
subjective
then if it's
position.
subjective,
That's not
if
binding
it's
to me.
subjective, it's not universally binding. Then your system
That's
can't
just your
secure
opinion, bro. We don't
knowledge
have to
itself.
accept that.
Your system can't make knowledge itself even possible. Therefore, your whole
Yeah,
epistemology.
not
collapses,
everybody
dummy.
has that view.
So then your whole
dummy.
epistemology collapses, dummy.
It's not
You can't even
objective.
make
Not
knowledge
everybody
claims
shares
now.
that
You can't
view.
justify knowledge claims now. You can't justify any knowledge claim now because it's
Not
subjective.
everybody can. Not everybody shares that view, guy.
Which is
It's
why
processed
your
in the mind.
worldview-
It's mind
I know that
dependent.
nobody
It's
shares-
stance dependent.
I'm aware. I'm aware that not all people share my worldview. That's not
Yeah,
the point of what I'm
it's
saying.
stance
The point-
dependent.
The point of what I'm saying is
God
if
your
you
source
hold
for
to-
objective morals?
If you hold to a
Is God your source for
subjective
objective
and
morals?
arbitrary epistemology,
Is
your
God your
system
source for
can't
objective
make
morals?
knowledge possible.
Is
Your
God
system
your
can't
source
make
for
knowledge
objective
possible.
morals?
Your system can't
Is
make knowledge
God your
possible.
source for objective morals?
That question requires rational norms.
Is God
such
your
that it can
source
secure
for
meaning,
objective morals?
which you have not justified. That
Is
question,
God your source for objective
that
morals?
question relies on things which
What
you
question
can't give an
does?
account for.
Which
that
question does? Which question?
Does God
Which question?
serve as the source of objective morals?
I'm
That's
asking
your question,
you.
right?
I'm asking you
Yeah,
if that
is
is your
that
position.
That's your question. That's your question.
I'm
right?
asking you. Yeah, it's a yes or
Yeah,
no
could
question.
you answer it?
In order to ask,
It's a yes or no question.
In order to ask a question,
I just
you need
asked
to
it.
have-
I don't need to do
in order
anything
to
but
ask
ask
a
it.
question,
You can answer
In
it.
order to ask a question, do you need
Have to
that
raise your
question
hand
to
first?
have some sort of telos?
Is God your source for objective morality?
Does that question need some sort of meaning that
no,
I have to
it needs a
understand?
yes no.
What does yes no mean?
Affirm, deny.
Where are you getting your
What does affirm deny mean?
source for objective morals?
You understand that we have like common understandings. This was my point
No,
like
I don't
3
grant you
minutes
that.
ago, right?
No, I don't grant you that. No, I'm not,
You
I'm not
don't
granting you
grant
that.
that?
Justify it. I'm
You
not
don't grant
granting
that?
it. Justify it. No, justify it.
You don't grant that we have common understanding in language?
Yes, justify it.
This is so weird.
Because you can't justify
really
it.
Justify
It's-
that-
it's an
justify
axiom-
that
it's
you
a-
don't
it's an
molest
arbitrary
children.
axiom. It's an arbitrary axiom that you hold to so that you can secure coherence of your system, which is ad hoc. So it means your system is logically fallacious and can't ground the possibility of knowledge. So it does. You can't even
This one
justify
thinks
asking
slavery's
a
okay,
question.
Dr.
You
Josh.
can't even justify how it's possible in your system to even ask a question.
This is what you have to do when your God is dog shit. It's so funny to me.
It's
how
an
the
actual,
fucking
it's a fair
pretzels.
critique that you can't deal with.
The
because
pretzels
you're
you guys
stupid.
have to
okay
twist
because
yourself
you're stupid
into.
empiricist.
Yeah, no,
Because
I'm
you're
not
stupid
going down your
empiricist.
dumb dick
Because saying
rabbit hole.
slavery's
Because you
bad
can't
is just
deal
like
with it.
our
You
subjective.
can't
Because
deal
you're a
with it.
script.
That's not
Because
why
you're
I
a
deal with
script
everybody
kitty.
else.
You're a script
No, it's
kitty.
because you can't deal with it.
No,
it's
you're a
because you can't deal
script
with it.
kitty.
right? You
No, it's
learn
because you can't
little.
deal
You,
with it.
you memorize.
Well,
You,
if
you
it's a
memorize
script, you
somebody
should be able to
else's
deal with it. If
argument.
it's a script, you should be able to deal
You
with it.
memorize
But you
somebody
can't.
else's argument
But you
and
can't
you
deal with it.
regurgitate it.
But you can't.
You
deal
don't
with
actually
it.
care
So
if your
what?
God is good.
So fucking what?
You don't.
So
ca-
fucking what,
yeah.
buddy?
So
You
what?
can't
So
deal
you're
with it.
worthless, man. Go do something
Says
valuable.
who?
Man, the
Says who?
profanity out
Me.
of this
Says who?
one's mouth
Me.
is unreal.
Literally me.
Oh,
I
it's
just
just
said
you.
it. You're
Is that
asking who's.
subjective?
You're
Is that
asking
stance
says who.
dependent? Wait.
You're
Is that
asking
stance
says
dependent in your
who to the
system?
person who
Is
just
that
said it.
is that stance dependent in your system?
Yes.
So then it's not binding on me, dummy.
You're a fucking idiot, man. Like, this is so embarrassing for you.
Yeah, he-
Says
he
you,
thinks
which
he's
is
winning
also
right now.
subjective.
Yes,
and
yes,
doesn't
says
doesn't
me.
follow
And
to me.
everything you're saying is from your mind, stupid.
Even if I grant you that, that doesn't mean that my worldview is therefore subjective. Even if I grant you that. Even if I granted it to you. But you guys are so fucking dumb that even if I grant
grant
you,
you
the things in
that my
question,
thoughts come
it
from my
doesn't
mind,
secure your own worldview.
what epistemic do you have to justify your
I don't understand
association?
epistemology. I don't understand rational critique. I don't understand.
I don't
the principles of
understand.
argument.
I just know that, like, I know slavery is good, and I know raping women is good, and I know smashing babies is good. I can't tell you why, really. All I can say is that you
You're so
can't
dumb,
tell me
bro.
that
You're
it's
so
not.
dumb. You're so dumb,
Because
bro.
of
Mark, would you be my slave?
I would only be a slave to Christ
Why wouldn't you be my
Oh,
slave?
we thought you were cool with slavery.
because
as
you're
long
not
as the good kind.
you're not God.
That's not a
He's
requirement.
dodged
That's not a
so many
requirement in the
questions
Bible to
in
be
this, it's
God.
been
Says who?
insane.
No,
The
says who?
Bible.
You haven't justified your epistemology.
Are you
for
saying? Are
understanding
you
what the
wait,
Bible says.
Mark? Are you saying
You have
Israel?
not
Are you saying that
justified
all
your
Israelites are
hermeneutics.
God? Mark, are you
That-
saying
you have
all
not
Israelites are
justified.
God?
That statement itself
Mark.
cannot be justified even in your
Mark,
system.
we're not talking
That
about
statement
justifying
is
anything,
incoherent.
Mark.
That statement, your
Mark, your
statement
brain is
incoherent.
jello.
Your statement
Mark, your
is
brain is
incoherent
jello.
because you can't secure the rational norms you need for that statement to make sense. You
Mark.
can't justify the rational norms you need in order for that statement to make
Mark.
sense.
Mark. Are you saying
He's crashed down.
he's
Boy.
oh, he's
you
been
can't
done.
justify
He's been done.
the norms that you need
You-
in order for that statement
goofy
Just tolerate
goober.
us this
sense.
point. Like,
Here's
So
the thing.
you
I'm
can't
gonna start
justify
still
babysitting.
got like
the
15, 20 minutes.
I'm
I
gonna
could be
start
on today,
babysitting
so.
you. Okay. You said that you wouldn't be my slave because I'm not God. Does that mean that that is a requirement for someone to own a slave is being a god? Oh, he's probably still screaming. Probably got his eyes closed to keep the tears locked in.
Oh, someone. Oh. He dropped. Oh, man. Well,
I hurt my hand slapping my desk. That was so goddamn funny.
it was.
That his thoughts come from
Was
his
you hear
mind.
when I sung the Good Kind of Slavery song?
Oh, no.
Oh, shit. Yeah, I sung Joel's The Good Kind of Slavery song. It's the good kind of slavery.
He can't even, like... I'm telling you, man, these Phil bros are so pathetic. Like, they're so goddamn pathetic. They think, like, memorizing complicated words and premises is somehow impressive when it's plain as day that you realize that your God is trash. And so you can't let go of their belief. So what do you do when you have a belief and you know it's trash? You have to obscure. That's all they do. They run away. They retreat to
Imagine being
philosophy.
so psychologically bent. You have to sit here and defend slavery and baby bashing. Like, oh man, what a sad state of indoctrinations and such. Like, how can you say this is God? I don't know. I myself have commanded all this shit.
Yeah, but where does it say commanded? Oh,
You can't justify that. What's your justification for saying God's commanded it? Well, it says here he commands it. You can't justify it. Like, I've never run in such a circle. I've been doing this for quite a while now, and that was a somewhat unique experience there. Oh man, oh man. Oh boy. Well, let's see. I've only got a few more minutes, but maybe this one's been hanging out for a while. Let's see. If one of these are still here, then we'll talk to them real quick. If not, I'll I was going to end it about 9:30, 10 o'clock anyway today. So let's see. Well, what a firework of a show that turned into. I got a restriction that came and went, but never really even affected the.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, was I talking to you about that? Where like they're doing more restricting but less impactful.
Oh yeah,
Like it's
yeah.
way easier to get a restriction now, but it doesn't do anything. Like before, if like you'd get dropped from a panel for like really getting into it for someone, you could lose like 24-hour live access, like no problem. Now it's 10 minutes, and it's like, did that really matter? I don't know. There's at least as many people in here as when I hopped in.
Yeah, it's been over 100 for quite a while now. Oh man, that was some funny shit though. Wow, that was a good one.
Yeah, I enjoyed that.
That was a really, really good one. I was asking him at first, after I sung the Good Kind of Slavery song, I was asking him, I was like, so what makes slavery different in the Bible than it was in the antebellum South? And that's when he like really started spiraling
That's what
out.
set him off the rails.
The whole conversation was pretty much derailed after that. It never went.
I mean, that's a perfect
like in a straight
that's a
line.
perfect encapsulation of what I'm saying though, right? Because you guys, it sounds like you guys were having like a pretty like nuts and bolts conversation, right? Yeah, Dr. B called you out for running, right? But it sounds like you guys were having like, and I admittedly joined late, so I didn't hear it, but it sounds like you were talking about the text and like having like a plain language discussion, right? Like he wasn't getting all Philbro-y, right? Until this shit got
well, I
too
mean, he
deep.
kind of was, but he was at least being like calmer at first.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, okay.
but you know,
But he
was
wasn't
just-
doing that thing where you like literally could not advance a point because he's gonna like check you down to like the origin of like written language or something or spoken language, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like, how do you know anything? Blah 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 blah. Yeah, he literally asked what yes no
Yeah.
means. Like, if that's where you're going, like it's over for you.
Yeah, he could. Believe it or not, he lost a couple times almost right off the bat. He just didn't realize it, obviously. But he's just doing the typical human thing, you know. Humans will pick, you know, is this really evil or is this a little bit less evil than the really evil? So I'll pick this one.
Yeah.
Like, I think people just prefer to scream and crash out rather than look obviously stupid, even though they look obviously stupid anyway. I think in their minds, instead of just admitting they lost and moving on, they just scream and holler, and that's the best option.
I think they genuinely don't hear themselves because I've been there. Like you get into that tunnel vision state, and like you're basically like
Right.
just kind of seeing red, right? Where it's like you just like your mind goes to like just destroy. But I've never been to the point where I would say something like, "What does yes no mean?" Like if I'm there, I'm going out back and I'm doing the old Yeller thing myself. Like I'm sorry, it's over.
I can't believe how many times it said justify God commanding this. I literally read
You're
the
literally
words. I
reading the word
myself
commanded.
commanded.
God's
Like,
like,
it said
guy,
that at least 4 times that I can remember. Like,
it's like he's like a defense lawyer and God's on trial right behind him and standing and like, yeah, no, I did it. It's like, guys, it was me. And like, my client never said. He's like, no, I did it. It was me.
it's like, and by I did it, I mean, I only think I did it, not actually. Oh, wow. All right, well, guys, I've got a short day today, so don't forget our best friend, Dr. Joshua Bowen, sells a bunch of amazing books you can get. The newest one being Learn to Read Ancient Hebrew, Volume 1. If you don't know squat about Hebrew, this is how you learn squat about Hebrew. Very easily, actually.
Apparently.
But you can get that on Amazon. He's got audiobooks on Audible if you like Audible. The Atheist Handbook to the Old Testament, Volumes 1 and 2, go into descriptive chapters about how Jesus is actually a carnivoric dinosaur with the biggest claws you've ever seen. And he explains this from a scholarly perspective as well. Even though I disagree with him, I think he was a herbivoral dinosaur is what God really was. But I haven't wrote a book on it yet, so you can't get mine, but I'm working on that. And also don't forget that the Rocket City Reason Conference is coming up this October, 23rd, 24th, and 25th. And in North Alabama, you can hang out with the coolest motherfuckers that ever lived. the best atheist ever. Some of the biggest names in atheist debates of all time will be there. The Thinker's going to be there. Seth Andrews, the Godless Engineer, is going to be there. Black Atheist Rants, Forrest Valkai, Guts It Given. I mean, just a powerhouse of atheist minds are going to be up there, maxing and relaxing, talking about the carnivore dinosaur god. It's going to be great. You gonna come to that, Mac?
I'll probably be out there. Yeah, October. That's only
yeah.
one state over for me.
Oh yeah.
Less than 3 hours.
Hitch
drive.
up here and you can ride with me the rest of the way.
Where are you at? What state are you in?
I'm like 20 minutes from there, but
Oh, okay. So you're like in that. Okay. Yeah, I'm over.
yeah, I live in Hartselle. I'm right up under Huntsville.
Okay. Yeah, I'm on the other side
So
of Atlanta.
I mean, barely at all from
Yeah.
the next town over. Yeah.
Apparently, Dr. B got cooked.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, that's what
Somebody
somebody
proved it
said. He
wasn't a
saw it with his own
dinosaur?
2 eyes.
Oh shit! Where was that at? I didn't see that. Oh, I guess I don't see it. Somebody say Christians should seek out atheists to help them understand the Bible. That's what I do every day, buddy. We are here for it. We are here for it. Anyway, guys, thank you all so much for coming. That was a hell of a good show. TikTok's making us start off a little slow in the mornings in our day, but they usually always pick up, don't they? Sometimes we just got to come up in here and roll. But yeah, look how many cool motherfuckers are going to be at the Rocket City Reason Conference. I mean, it's going to be fucking awesome.
Yeah, if you're shutting it down, Black Atheist Rants is live right now.
Oh shit! Yeah, let's go raid Black Atheist Rants then. And yeah, I'm about to jump off here. Where's my time? There we are. Oh, it was almost 2 hours, so that ain't too bad. That's
Good.
almost the shortest of shows I do, so that's still a pretty good show. 11 new followers, 1.3K people came through. That did slow down. That's almost getting back to normal. Where it's starting to pick up at the start and slow down as it goes. Whereas the last week or so, it's been starting slow and picking up. It's weird, but it used to do the opposite. But anyway, guys, we will catch all of y'all later. Much love. Thank you all so much. Make sure you're following my man Mac Luster here. Y'all hear the brilliance that just flows out of this man's mouth. It's awesome. It just comes right out. Like
now you know you can't trust Ape. The judgment is crazy.
Right. Well, I mean, it's all subjective anyway, so none of it's binding
So it
to
means
anybody.
it's not
So
binding.
what's the
I'm not
point in even listening to another person talk?
I'm not bound to it. It's subjective. I'm not bound to it. Ha
I didn't say you were, Mac.
Dude literally goes.
Anyway. I had a lot of laughs during that. I had a lot of laughs. It was good. It was good. I hate you missed the song. I even added some of my own like freestyle verses to it.
Oh, you actually played it?
No, I sung it
Oh,
myself.
okay.
I don't have a way to play it, so I just sing them myself.
Okay.
But it was still good.
Still great.
I said, Deuteronomy, own people is property. It's the good. Stuff like that. I'll be freestyling.
You got a little,
But anyway.
little ad libbing. All right, man. Yeah, head over, go see Bar, Black Atheist Rants.
Oh yeah, guys, we'll catch y'all tomorrow. Have a good one. This was day 96 in the books. Later.